Recently I was reading an article and I also watching on the YouTube about Indian R&D. There was criticism about the Indian R&D. Oh, Indian R&D is very poor. We do not have scientific analysis of very many products which we are bringing onto the to the public. There is no testing facilities. Our testing facilities are weak. Our testing facilities should be improved. We should have scientific analysis of everything. It is not like that. See, originally, in the US, a small thing like, they used to use drugs like opium and other things for the purpose of treatment of headaches and other things. There was no scientific element for that. Science developed. And slowly they understood that these can be put into alternative methods and these can be used for the purpose of these type of disease, etc. For example, quinine. Our Indian people knew quinine even before the Britishers understood what it meant, quinine meant for malaria. Because we had experienced malaria is an Indian disease, a tropical disease. I would say Indian, a tropical disease. And we understand the utility of it. Oh, no, we do not have scientific analysis and therefore quinine may not be used. After quinine has been tested all over by the Britishers, by the West, and they said, yes, quinine is good for malaria, we start introducing it. No, it is not that. Indian jugaad is what we have to look at. There was a fantastic video which I saw. A person was driving a small motorcycle, a motorized vehicle with 7 people, 8 people, I think, 8 people sitting, 4 on one side, 4 on other side, and he had a canopy over that vehicle. It's I can't describe it. It is like a long cycle with a canopy on top. And the interviewer stopped him and asked him, "Hey, what type of vehicle is this?" He said, "Sir, this runs on electricity." He said, "Where do you get the battery?" So that canopy is what you call a solar canopy. So that I can, this is a desert state in Rajasthan and all the Madhya Pradesh. These places are hot in, Maharashtra, etc. These places are hot. So what happens is I use a solar panel and I generate the electricity from the sun to the solar panel, and that runs this vehicle. And what I did was, I extended the length of the vehicle and put side small seats in which I can load 8 people, 4 on one side, 4 on another side, and it travels. You can't now go to a scientific lab and test it. It's a unique concept. It's a concept which India can apply very easily. Reduce the cost of transportation. It's not necessary that you should have a big vehicle, AC vehicle, or a bus running throughout the street. No, not necessary. These small things matter. Extremely small things matter. India has got enough talent all over. Otherwise, we would not have all these new drone technologies, new army technologies, new DRDO technologies. Where is it coming from? It is coming from the Indian brain, not because of scientific processes. They have understood that there is a possibility and they have put that into operation. And then they take it to the scientific lab and test it. But the thought does not come from going to a university and studying alone. It is not that. We should be able to give the funds to various people, and I call it Indian jugaad again, by which we will be able to satisfy the smaller requirements which Bharat wants. This local transportation. Suppose we introduce it for short distances of, say, 3 kilometers, 4 kilometers in a area like Rajasthan, or we can reduce the cost of running buses there. Pollution can be reduced, and we can have about, say, 50 of them running all around. And we can go up and down from one place, just like those olden days mules using transportation of using those what do you call it, those kind of olden days at what do you call covered wagons. That's what I say, covered wagons. All these are Indian jugaad. It will reduce we can reduce pollution, we can reduce cost of fuel. Running a bus there might cost you some more. Maintenance of the bus, all that might cost you. But this Indian jugaad can serve its own purpose. Small villages linked together, because normally in India you have a village within a period of 5-7 kilometers, and within the village, the hotel that maybe about say 3 kilometers. So you can use these kind of small items which can benefit India also. Now coming to the other aspect of R&D, if you want to do R&D the way in which the Western nations look at it, India is not going to achieve many things. For example, if you look at I think even the internet or the Gmail, everything, though we say it has been invented here, invented there, the concept was developed for the American armed forces. And they deployed millions of dollars to get those technologies ready. But India cannot invest in that kind of thing because we do not have the funds and we do not have the time to do that kind of research and bring it forward. We should be able to use the Indian mind, the Indian technology, the Indian local mind, because it has got, experience is there over a period of years. Does not mean that we should do only the scientific way which the Western method adopts. No, not necessary. We can readapt it to our requirements. For example, India did the new technology of DRDO was willing to accept that kind of instead of Kevlar, they have found out a new methodology of keeping the our soldiers warm in Siachen. This technology, because Siachen is in India and it's a cold place with the coldness of that place. India has developed its own technology. Well, it has gone through a scientific process, but the thinking is Indian. In the same way, we should be able to give those funds to those people who are there, who have understood, who have lived there, who know the circumstances under which they can operate. If you go to Kutch, it is one of the driest places in the world. But today they are developing, India has developed a whole city there known as Dolavira. And it's going to be the most modern city there. It's a salt land. But today we are going to get some of the top business interests to operate from Dolavira. And it's going to be a city where you're not going to single wire above the ground. Everything is underground. And water is going to be recycled. Water is going to be obtained from the sea. So many things can happen. So many things are happening. So Indian R&D is there. It is not lost. We should be able to put, get the ideas from our Indian, youth, because they got excellent thought processes. For example, I think in Madhya Pradesh, a person has invented a refrigerator kind of thing using natural materials, using only the locally available mud and stone. That is Indian, that is scientific. Yes, they found the water to be cold after 3 days. How did our olden people keep our food for so many days in a hot place like Rajasthan? How did they do it? How did they learn that this can be used for the purpose of cooling? Those technologies are experience. It can be tested for science, but that experience can be used for the purpose of developing newer products. And that is where we should look at the perspective in a different operation and say that, and look at it that the experience of the locals can be taken into consideration, and put it into scientific analysis. We should not start from the scientific analysis and end up in the product which is already there available in the market. We should use what is available in the market, the experience, the capabilities of centuries of knowledge, and apply it and find out whether it can stand scientific tests which can be marketed in the world. Thank you.